Welcome back to the Driveway Beers podcast with Mike and Alex. As always, we appreciate you listening. Please rate us on all the podcast platforms. Like, subscribe, comment, share wherever else you're listening, and enjoy the show. All right, welcome back to another episode. We appreciate you coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. We are really trying to ramp up our subscribers. So if you can, if you're listening to the show, you listen to it more than once, go ahead and click that subscribe button or follow button or wherever you're listening. Whatever you need to do to keep getting episodes, please do that. We want to thank Adam Chubbuck with TACMD.com. That's TACMD.com. Team Alpha Charlie, Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Maryland. We keep saying this and it keeps being true. The real estate market is uncertain right now. We don't know where interest rates are going. We don't know where prices are going, especially in this Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area. I don't think the layoffs have fully shaken out yet with the federal government, but I also don't think we know whether private industry is going to hire or fire more people, depending on which way the tariff winds swing. So if you do need to buy or sell a home, you want to have an entrusted real estate agent who's going to look out for your best interests, not their own, especially if there is a tough market. The last thing you want is a real estate agent to make us buy or sell just because they haven't bought or sold a home in a while. A guy like Adam is never going to do that. He is going to treat your money as if it's his own because he values the relationships over the one-time transaction. And so go to TACMD.com. That's TACMD.com. Talk to Adam about your real estate situation. If you're a real estate investor that would like to earn some passive income being a real estate investment person, go ahead and give Adam a call. Go to TACMD.com. Contact Adam today. We have an interesting story. We're either going to be chauvinists, pigs, or the voice of reason.
Yeah, I'm going to go with reason.
We don't get to say. Because we're not of that gender.
Oh.
Or of the 32 genders. No, we're not going down that road. We're not talking about the transgender situation or the other genders or the furries or whoever. We're not going down that one today. Mike read me a story and I didn't know what to think.
The Blue Origin, as it's put by NPR, the all-female crew that launched and landed safely on Monday morning aboard a rocket operated by Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company. Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Jeff Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez.
She's not fat.
No, fiance.
Oh, I thought you said fat fiance. My bad.
No. Lauren Sanchez. No, she's not.
She's top heavy, but she's not fat.
No. We're among, and I'm going to add this part, the crew.
The crew.
When I hear crew,
yeah,
I believe it's implied that those people who are of the crew, like, so let's take an airliner, sure, right? So just say your typical single aisle, narrow body airliner, 737, A320 going from BWI to O'Hare, has a crew of 2 pilots and 4 or 5 cabin crew, right?
Okay.
Each member of the crew has duties and responsibilities and tasks that they must accomplish in order for the flight to be safely operated. So
sounds logical. Go ahead.
Right. I'm trying to figure out what Katy Perry's duties, responsibilities, or tasks were aboard Jeff Bezos' giant penis rocket.
Absolutely none.
I just...
Hey, wait, do you know how long she trained for that?
I'm sure it was grueling.
It was absolutely not.
Right.
Her, Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez, I don't believe they took any actual astronaut training on how to fly the damn thing.
Right.
And I don't know about the other two, because there were 2 other ladies with them.
Well, so there were 6 total.
Oh, were there? Okay. I didn't realize there was a third.
There's 6. Yeah.
Did any of them pilot it?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think it just does its thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, it's an all-female crew. It's an accomplishment for women, right?
The first all-female crew
First.
since, and I know her name, I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly, or at least it's Russian. So this is what NPR wrote. Monday's mission at S-31 has garnered considerable attention in recent weeks because of its famous passengers and historic nature. It was the first all-female spaceflight since 1963, when Soviet-era cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova, the first woman in space, orbited Earth during a nearly three-day-long solo flight. They're comparing these people to that woman.
To a Russian cosmonaut who actually knew how to fly the thing.
Right. Who strapped herself on top of a 1960s-era Soviet Vostok 2 rocket and launched herself into the heavens for 3 days.
So wait a minute. You're telling me this thing that happened for the first time in 2025 was actually done for the first time in 1960?
Well, this is the first one since then.
But that one was the first one.
Right.
Not this one.
No.
This is the second one.
The real one. Where the Russian cosmonaut,
right,
Valentina Tereshkova, launched herself into space.
Actual astronaut.
Actual astronaut.
Cosmonaut, sorry.
Cosmonaut. Semantics.
Actual someone who can fly. Took the training to go up into space.
Right, to operate the vehicle.
I mean, she probably had some help getting up there, right? I mean, come on now. She didn't do it all by herself.
Right, she didn't build the whole rocket by herself.
Right.
But there's probably a dude there somewhere helping.
on the Earth. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they're trying so hard to make this something. In the typical places like NPR and MSNBC and all that, when it's nothing. It's like, if you have enough money, if I had enough money, I could go and buy a ticket and ride the penis rocket to space.
Yes.
So I just don't understand. And by doing so, you're taking away from the actual accomplishments of the cosmonaut. There's 2 women that went into space before an American woman went into space. The first American woman in space was Sally Ride. Sally Ride was a mission specialist and a PhD and a physicist and all kinds of other stuff. I'm trying to figure out what Katy Perry and Gayle King and Lauren Sanchez's role. What had they not done? What did they do that contributed to the safe operation of the flight?
They paid for it.
Sure.
And in Lauren Sanchez's case, she probably didn't pay for it because her husband was the CEO of Blue Origin.
Yeah.
It's such a crock of shit. And it just takes if I was an actual female astronaut, which I'm not, but if I was, and I had gone into space, now granted, I might not have been in an all-female crew, but at least I was a fucking astronaut.
Yeah.
I went through the trainings. I went through the G-force chamber. I went through all of it. I'm a fucking pilot.
Yeah.
Like, I know how aerodynamics work. I know how jets work. I know I know how rockets work because I'm probably a rocket scientist. Like a legit rocket scientist. When people say it's not rocket science, these are the people that do rocket science.
Right.
Like PhDs in math and whatever else.
All kinds of smart kid stuff.
Like, one lady was literally shot into space and had to stay there for an extra 8 months.
Yeah.
Because she's an actual astronaut and was prepared for what could fucking happen.
Yeah.
You imagine if Katy Perry had to stay in space for just an extra day?
She was up for 10 minutes and 21 seconds.
And when she got out, she kissed the ground. Did you see that video?
Yes.
She hops down and literally swallows dirt.
like they're freaking Apollo 13.
Yes. Like, if I'm a woman, I don't want to say any woman, but if at the very minimum, if I'm a female astronaut, and I see this bullshit getting more attention than the mission I went on,
Right.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because they're not actual. It's like, okay.
Like, you've flown on an airliner before. Does that make you a pilot?
No, but here's the thing. That's basically saying, because, I mean, technically a plane can take off and land all by itself. Okay? So let's say we don't put a pilot and a co-pilot in the front. But all the people in the back is all female on a 737. 190 passengers, all female. And we take off and we come back down and land safely. Is that an all-female crew? No, none of them know how to fly the fucking plane.
Right.
They just took a ride.
Yeah.
Because they had enough money to take the ride. Mm-hmm. Do we now call them the first all-female crew?
Yeah. Well, if you go on the penis rocket, yes.
Apparently. Like, is this what we've come to? Like, everyone now needs to be the first to do everything to make... Like,
but there already was the first. It happened in 1963.
Right. It happened how many years ago?
Yeah. It happened 50 years...
50?
70?
70?
No. 63. God, math. 60?
60 to 2000 is 40.
Yeah.
Add another 25.
65.
65 years.
Yeah.
So roughly.
Yeah.
62 years.
Yeah.
It happened 62 freaking years ago.
Yeah.
You kind of missed the boat.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was like dog, monkey, the first dude, no, Sputnik, dog, monkey, the dude, I forget his name, then the American dudes, then Valentina Tereshkova. So she was preceded in space by a couple dudes, a dog, and a monkey. So I think that's pretty good.
With 1960s tech.
Yeah.
That's more impressive to me.
Yeah.
And by herself.
Right.
But Katy Perry gets the front page.
Yeah.
And Gail Kane. And the girl who lucked into money.
Right. Lucked her.
With Dr. Evil.
L with F.
With Dr. Evil. By the way, it wasn't bad enough Jeff Bezos looks like Dr. Evil, but then he had to create the fucking penis rocket that Dr. Evil took off on. Yeah. Like, nobody told this guy, like, nobody wanted to give the guy a heads up, like, hey, man, dude, there's a lot of similarities going on here.
Have you seen Austin Powers?
Right.
Watch this.
Right. Hey. It's like the rocket that with your company name on it kind of looks like his penis rocket. You kind of look like him. I mean, you might as well just get a cat rodent.
Yeah.
And a mini-me.
Right.
And just call yourself Dr. fucking Evil.
Like, that dude had a yacht built in Denmark or the Netherlands, I forget where. It was so big, it couldn't fit under the bridge.
He wasn't the first one, Mike.
No, so they tore the bridge down.
Yeah, wasn't the first one.
And then he just paid to build another one.
But, Mike, other billionaires have done it, too. He wasn't the first one.
You'd think they just build a higher bridge at some point.
Yeah, I know. At some point, yeah. It's like, okay, can we stop dismantling the fucking bridge? So that these mega yachts can come through?
Yeah.
Or maybe, hey, why don't we move
build the mega yachts on the other side of the bridge?
Right. Why don't we move the fucking factory a little bit? Like, can we move it to 10 yards down the way?
But I guess when you have Bezos money, who cares?
If you can pay to disassemble or reassemble a bridge, why wouldn't it cost a billionaire less money just to move the factory?
Yeah. A quarter mile that way.
Right. Like, I mean, did no one think of this? Like, again, this is where we're saving people money.
Who needs Doge? They have driveway beers.
We are saving the people's money by saving billionaires' money.
Yeah. I just everything seems to be this. Yeah, you said it, like everything seems to be this stretch to be the first all this, the first all that. And it was really bad under body because every nominee they had, what was her name? They called her KJP, the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre. She's the first openly gay black press secretary. Does anybody care?
And the funny thing, she's not the first black PR person.
Right.
She's not the first woman. Gay PR person.
Right.
Not the first. But if you put them all together,
right,
she's the first. Like, are we that desperate to be the first?
Yeah.
At anything?
I just don't understand. But to me, when you take someone, you say, "Oh, they're the first this." What about their actual accomplishments that led them to that position. To me, that should be like, oh, by the way.
I mean, I kind of get it, but like I said, when you have to add the third level, the third box in the drop down menu, just to get to the first. Like if you just picked one, you're like the 31st. If you pick two, you're like the 7th. But if you add this third one in, now you're the first. Like, shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand this need to be the first. It's like, I need to be in the history books. I need to be the first. Only the first one gets to be in the history book.
But if that's all you're in for.
Right.
Have you actually done anything?
I guess at this point, it's like, no. I mean, and nobody.
Because these 6 didn't really do much.
Well, no one's going to remember them.
Yeah. California Girls.
Right.
Oprah's Friend.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos's fuck buddy. Wife,
won't even be remembered.
Yeah.
And then the other 3.
Yeah.
Who nobody
knows.
Nobody even knows. Like, I assume they were astronauts. Like, I assume they were actually on there to fly.
Does someone have to fly the thing?
I have no idea.
Or does it just do its thing?
I see. I'm giving everyone else the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say those 3 were actual trained pilots / astronauts. Now, my weird thing with Blue Origin is, what is the purpose of Blue Origin?
To take rich people into space?
Okay, and
I think it should just keep going.
And Virgin Atlantic is the same. But I think Richard Branson,
Virgin Galactic, I think you call it.
Did that go bankrupt yet? And if not, why not?
I don't know. Remember during 2020 was the big kid space race?
Yeah.
With Penis Rocket, Elon Musk, and but at least Elon Musk company is like a legit.
But here's the thing, though. In this with SpaceX, the guy is literally sending astronauts to the space station, and he's resupplying the space station. Like, he's doing space shit. He's doing what NASA used to do.
Right.
Blue Origin doesn't do any of that shit. Virgin Galactic doesn't do any of that shit. The only other one that is even remotely close to doing that is the Boeing. What's the Boeing? It's a Boeing something. X something.
Space, not SpaceX. That's. No. I don't remember what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
It's not the Starliner, is it? The Boeing Starliner? I don't know what the fuck. They named it something stupid. But my thing is, like, look, I could be way wrong on this, and if I'm wrong, put it in the comments below. I thought the government basically put out this bounty contract, whereas if you could create a rocket and can do these things that NASA was doing, then you won the government contract, and that's what SpaceX did. They won it. Mm-hmm. What is Boeing even still doing? We don't need 2 space companies.
Right.
One will do, donkey. One will do. It's like, okay, Boeing, you lost. Jeff Bezos, you definitely lost with your penis rocket. Mm-hmm. That is, but now they're like, well, I got to recoup my money somehow. So now they're going to have rich people pay to go to space. And I swear to God, like, William Shatner went to space. It's like, okay, if you want to go to space, fine. But don't expect normies like us to congratulate you when you get back.
No.
None of us give a shit.
No.
We realize you have more money than us, and you're using it to go to space because you're stupid.
Right.
And you're bored.
So, it's funny. I don't know who these people are. So, on Twitter, I don't know who Dave Limp is, but his post was, "What an amazing crew. Great flight this morning." And then the first comment, "This took courage, curiosity, and a willingness to go first so others feel like they can follow. Props to the entire crew. Pioneering doesn't always look like boots on the moon. Sometimes it looks like grit, fearlessness, and an all-female flight, rewriting what bold means." I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Someone said, like, and the other part of the unseriousness of this was the fact that Lauren Sanchez designed the uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
Not a scientist. No. And they had to be like, literally, it was like, it was like skin tight.
And if they're trying to say, okay, these were crew members and on a mission to space, they made them all look like Space Barbie.
In one of the pictures, one of the zippers is like halfway down. I'm like, yo, are you serious? Like, you're trying to sexualize the spacesuit.
Right. The astronaut suit's probably the least sexual thing there is.
Correct.
It's like the Michelin Man, right?
Yes.
That's what astronauts wear.
It's like, ooh, we're going to send sexy into space. Like, why? If you're going into space, your one goal is to not die.
Yeah.
Not to look sexy while you do it. Because guess what? If you blow up in your sexy suit, you still fucking die.
And the thing is, they never went in orbit. They went up. So this thing called the Kármán line, which is like the internationally recognized boundary between the atmosphere, Earth and space. Mm-hmm. And they go up, and then they were there for a couple minutes, and they came right back down. So they took off in Texas. They launched from Texas. They landed in Texas. So it wasn't like the shuttle, which took off from Cape Canaveral, and then goes into space and orbits around, and then lands in California after traveling around the Earth a bunch of times.
Right.
Another Twitter comment.
Oh, boy.
These are great. I'm wondering who they paid to do this. Congratulations to @Jeff Bezos and the entire Blue Origin. This masterclass was simple, experimental, and successful, demonstrating how to achieve results the American way without making a fuss. They made a fuss.
Right.
It's a significant accomplishment for a promising beginning to space exploration.
Beginning? Beginning of... guess what? Look, that either someone's saying that they faked the lunar landing, which, hey, conspiracy theory on, if you will. But all the other shit's made up too.
Well, the Earth is flat.
Earth is flat.
So
Jeff Bezos and his penis rocket with all females were the first ones in space, everybody. Bringing it to you here first. We are now, in fact, now what? And we're a news podcast. we are changing it up right now.
Yeah, it's a small step for a woman, but a giant leap for humanity.
Stop.
Yo, no.
Stop. Please tell me that someone actually wrote that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then Ad Astra is yeah.
What is Ad Astra? I've heard that somewhere. Isn't that like some made up place?
I think so.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Oh. And then there's finally a crew. Did they contribute anything but being props?
That's the one truthful tweet in that whole...
Yeah. What exactly have they achieved apart from looking pretty?
Yeah.
So that goes into the whole thing. But the first couple are, pretty...
Someone's going to say, I've mentioned this before, how there are paid posters on Twitter/X. And, how can you tell?
That's how you tell.
That's how you fucking tell. When it's that fucking bullshit, that's kind of, or when you see the same shit posted on 30 different accounts without a change in the wording.
Yeah.
That's copied and pasted from whoever paid them to put it there. There was that one thing, when I think it was 15 different senators and House of Representatives from the Democrat Party all posted the same video. Mm-hmm. It was them reading the same script.
Yeah.
And the videos looked almost exactly alike, but the scripts were the same. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, well, how do you know they were paid to do that? Well, if they weren't paid, it was definitely a script.
Yeah.
Because there's no shot in hell 30 people write the same exact words.
Right.
And make the same exact video with the same exact little lapel microphone. They didn't even change the lapel. Some of them couldn't even be bothered to put it on to hide it.
Yeah.
They were holding it. You don't hold a lapel microphone. Yeah. You fucking put it on your lapel. It's right. I can't get over how some people are just and I'm not the smartest individual. I'm really not. I never think I am. If I was, I'd be much richer than I am. Yeah. But when you see a pattern or you see a recurring thing happening and you understand that there's no possible way for 30 human beings to say the exact same thing at the exact same time in the exact same way, without any deviation.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Now say it's 100. Mm-hmm. It's even more improbable.
Yeah.
You're talking a minute... it's got a 1% chance of actually happening in real life without any coordination. Mm-hmm. How do you know? Because I fucking know. Well, you have no proof. You're right. I don't. I'm just not an idiot.
It's like when your boss sends you an email and he just forwarded it from the previous dude. Like, it's like, you even bother, like, delete all the freaking lines and crap. Like, you know, Gmail, like, separates it out.
Yeah.
There's, like, 15 lines. Like, come on, man. At least make it look like you...
Maybe I honestly think that some people just think others won't notice. Like, if I do that, if I forward an email like that, dude, I make sure to get rid of everything.
Oh yeah.
I even want to get rid of the line down the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get rid of all of that.
Yeah.
Like, or if I can't do it, I'll copy and paste the text, create a new email, and I'll paste it in there.
Yeah. Now I'm not taking credit for it. I'll write per so and so.
Yeah. You know, I'm not above taking credit.
So,
yeah.
I mean, if it's something they're not going to like, I'm not taking credit for it.
So, luckily, I don't have to send those kind of emails. Yeah. I just have to send forward information.
Right. It just. You know, this finally, there's finally a text in here, or not text, a tweet, kind of far down. The MSN repeatedly referred to this group of lip gloss individuals as crew. They were freeloading passengers whose 11-minute self-serving publicity flight detracts from the good work of real female astronauts. Then he has a picture of 4 women. I'm not sure what, whether it's the ISS or the shuttle or what, but they're all clearly weightless, you know, hanging out for a group picture. Like, those are astronauts, not these, you know, California girls.
Yeah. And again, I said, this is the thing I said in the beginning. If I was a female, and I'm not, but if I was, and this is what was being celebrated as the first all-female crew, I'd be pissed as shit.
Oh yeah,
because they didn't earn that right to be called that. It's not a crew,
right?
Like, you're not manning any stations.
Yeah,
and if shit hits the fan, you can't fix anything.
Right.
Like, even when they sent up the third grade teacher back on the Challenger that blew up, even that teacher, she was trained to be an astronaut.
She went down there for a long time.
Like, she was legit. You would call her an astronaut.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call any of these ladies astronauts. I call them passengers.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I'm not celebrating an all-female passenger flight.
No, any more than if the 737 took off and it had all the girls from, you know, the cheer teams going to a freaking cheer competition. Like, good for going to the cheer comp, but I'm not celebrating your trip there.
But I think this goes to people being so desperate to be the first.
Yeah.
Like, Katy Perry wasn't satisfied with selling 1 million records and all. She had to, like, why would you, like, if I was her, why would you go along with this shit?
They're narcissists. They got to be in front of people.
That's the only way this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're rich beyond belief. You have accolades behind your name. I mean, whether you like Katy Perry's music or not, she sold a shit ton of records.
She had some catchy tunes.
Right. But I mean,
catchy tunes. God, I sound old.
Check out this new bebopper from Katy Perry.
and Gayle King. I mean, yes, she's Oprah's friend, but she's also had a TV show.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit about nepotism or whatever you want to call it. There's nepotism all over this fucking joint.
Yeah.
She had a TV show.
Yeah.
And it was a fairly successful TV show. That's an accolade. She did that shit. Lawrence Sanchez, well, you know, whatever. She's there. But I just don't understand, like, especially those two. Never mind the other 3 that nobody's ever going to fucking remember, but those two in particular.
Well, actually, maybe the other 3 actually, like, were contributing to the safe operation of this vehicle.
Sure. But then here's the thing.
But then why they made the Space Barbie outfit?
Right, well, but let's say those 3 were actual astronauts. Why not just send those 3 and call it the all-female crew?
Yeah.
And leave the Barbies out of it. So that way it's not laughed at. Like, you turn, if that was the case, and those 3 were legit astronauts and it's an all-female crew, granted, it already happened in 1963 with a single, you could actually say this is an all-female crew because that was technically just an all-female astronaut. Yeah. You could have gotten your first. But it wouldn't have been Katy Perry, and it wouldn't have been a Gayle King, and it would have been nobody would have given a shit.
Yeah.
Because this isn't the first time a Blue Origin dick missile has gone up into space. I'm going to come up with a catchy fucking name for this thing. Penis rocket's just not doing it for me. Dick missile.
Dick missile.
I don't know. It sounds pretty good. So I feel like you put the 3 real astronauts up there and go up into space. Now, he's not going to do that. Why? Because then he would lose, what, $50 to $70 million that they paid to go up there.
Right.
But at least then you could then bill it as the first all-female crew and take all your pictures and people won't make fun of you. Mm-hmm. Like, those other 3 ladies, if they're real astronauts, they're just getting shit. They're getting shit on for no reason.
Yeah.
Because the Barbies went up with them.
Right. Now, Gayle King apparently was on saying afterwards, commenting on the detractors, like, how are people taking, people shouldn't be taking this away from me, this accomplishment. I'm like, what?
Accomplishment? You sat in a fucking chair and didn't blow up.
Don't die.
Right. Your only goal is to not die.
A lot of the original astronauts, like John Glenn and I think it's Yuri Gagarin was the first, and Tereshkova, like, they were kind of sitting in a chair not dying.
Yeah.
Like, they had to operate those things and go through a lot of training and stuff, but they were true pioneers. Like, there was a good chance that they were going to, like, they're strapping themselves to the front of a missile and getting launched into space. Like, you might not come back.
Well, they had to operate the shuttle after the rocket separated.
Yeah.
And they were in orbit. Mm-hmm. Like, they had to do something.
Yeah, and then the shuttle, upon landing, like, was gliding.
Yeah.
There's no engine. Like, it was a dead stick landing. They had one shot.
I don't know, man. I don't get the need. And look, maybe our brains just aren't wired like that.
But see, the most of the stuff I'm seeing, aside from like the paid blue checks on Twitter, are people like, yeah, this isn't anything.
Right.
In fact, someone who we both know, she's incredibly liberal, put on her Facebook, like, essentially, like, what the F is this? Like, this, she put this, it was something that someone else had written from, like, Feminist magazine. Like, literally, that's what it was. But it pretty much shit on them. I agree with it 100%. Like, and generally, when she posts stuff, it's pretty, I'm going to disagree with that one. But no, like, straight on. She nailed it.
I wonder if it's just fatigue at this point. I'll call it first fatigue.
First fatigue, or I think also part of it is that these individuals who are Bezos, and they're so out of touch. Yeah. The corporate media is so out of touch with where people really are, that they just think that everyone's. It's almost like you will celebrate this, Well, like when they had the remember the girl that played. She played. It was the first ever woman to play in a NCAA football game.
Oh yeah, the Colorado.
Yeah, she like it was like a terrible punt or terrible kick.
It was a kickoff. Yeah, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, yeah. Like, she's the first. Like, yeah, but it was terrible. Like, a kickoff out of bounds is a penalty.
Right.
Like, that's not good. Like, I wouldn't want, if I were her, I would not want that shown. Like,
I felt bad for her too.
Yeah,
because I guarantee she's kicked that ball 30 times, 40 times, and it's gone where she wanted it to go. Mm-hmm. But when you get into a stadium like that, and she was a soccer player at Colorado, she had not seen a crowd of 40 to 50,000 before.
No.
And so, and don't get me wrong, I've never played in front of a crowd of 30, 40,000. I played in front of a 5,000 person crowd, and your nerves will get to you.
Especially a position like kicker,
right,
where it's on you. Like, I was a goalie, you were a goalie, so like we can kind of feel that pressure. Probably only positions in sports that really would feel it would be kicker, goalies, and probably pitchers too.
So I'll give you. So when I was in college, I was a kicker. Not a good one. I'll put that out there. But in a scrimmage, I was sent out there to do a kickoff. I kicked a line drive. Mm-hmm. Something I had done 70 times over. And I fucked it up.
Yeah.
Because I was nervous. Mm-hmm. I was nervous to fuck up in front of other people. I was nervous to screw up in front of my teammates for the first time. This is the first time they'd ever seen me do anything.
Yeah.
I was nervous. Nerves got to me. And I just think the same thing happened to her.
Yeah.
Like, I think if she were to go out and do it again, it would have been fine.
I also feel bad for her because now I'm just speculating on what happened, but apparently, like, the kicker got hurt, so they needed somebody.
Yeah. I think they were down like 2. They had already gone through 2 or 3 of them.
So they go and they grab her up. And it's like, okay, so they bring her out. There wasn't anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this poor girl was put out there to be the first.
Yeah.
And I don't.
They did have a tryout, though. And she was apparently, I mean, I guess none of the men's soccer team wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. And so they offered it to the ladies team.
Yeah.
And she said, I'll do it. I mean, I think she was a goalie, so she had done like a lot of goal kicks, which is very similar. It's the same kind of run up and style and everything. I guarantee you she had done it 20, 30 times in practice and it had been fine. Nerves just get to you. Mm-hmm. And I maybe for her, some of it was being the first, but at the same time, when she first went and tried out, it probably didn't cross her mind
that she'd ever actually have to do this.
She probably thought, in all honesty, she probably knew some of the football players. She knew she was friends with. Athletes see each other around the athletic complex.
Oh, yes.
Whether you're working out, you got your back-to-back on workout sessions, or you're just...
Some schools have like a separate athletes cafeteria. Big schools will have a team-specific cafeteria.
Yep.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the football team at Alabama has their own kitchen and dining, nutritionists, all kinds of shit. But the smaller schools like that, it's probably like athletes.
But so, I mean, she had probably known a couple of the guys, and they probably put out the call, and some of the guys were probably like, hey, you're a goalie. It's the same thing. You should come out and do it. We need someone to do this.
Yeah.
Because nobody, trust me, if you ever see a regular football player try and kick a football, it looks atrocious.
Yeah.
Like you end up just stubbing your toe on the ball and you hope it goes somewhere.
Yep.
Whereas if you have someone who's kicked a ball soccer style before, it's going to translate better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she probably wasn't going to boot it through the end zone, but she's probably had enough strength in the leg to probably get it to the 5, which is all she had to do.
Yeah.
And so she probably did it for that. I can almost, because you never heard from her again.
No.
She probably just went back to playing soccer. She probably felt embarrassed about what happened. Like, I hope that girl didn't get any shit.
Yeah.
But you also know that the media pumped the shit out of that.
Of course.
And screwed her over.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that to the girl. She wasn't in it for this. But like someone like Katy Perry, fuck her.
Yeah.
She obviously
she deserves to be made fun of.
Shit. Flame her all you want.
I still want to know what the other 3 people in that thing did.
They certainly weren't names because they didn't get their names didn't make it in the articles.
No.
Nobody gave a shit about them. Again, if they're real astronauts, how pissed off are you?
Yeah.
No, we're the fucking crew. Put our names in there.
Yeah, because and then even when Sally Ride went up, she was a mission specialist. The teacher that went up that didn't make it back on Challenger, mission specialist. They have a role to do. They're not going to take random people up there in the space shuttle.
Well, they were going to the space station.
Yeah,
they were going to the space station to do experiments. Mm-hmm. Like, again, they went through all the training. Like, to me, they were astronauts. You go through that training, you learn how to do actual shit. You're an astronaut.
Yeah.
This wasn't that. And like, this is the weird thing. Like, if I'm Katy Perry or I'm Gayle King, I'd be fucking embarrassed to get all this accolade shit. Like, you're gonna praise me like I'm an actual astronaut when I can barely tie my own shoe?
Yeah, the correct response would have been, no, we're not the first anything. These women were the first.
Yes.
That's the correct response. You're like, okay, cool. But now you're just soaking it up. Oh, we're the first. Yeah, it's
and this also, I mean, goes back to like how the elite level of, I don't want to say elite because that makes them sound better, but the level of how rich people see themselves is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So, like, I mentioned this in a tweet, and I basically said, like, someone was talking about how AOC and Bernie Sanders were doing their Fight the Oligarchy tour. Like they're fucking rock stars or something. You're telling me two politicians whose campaigns are funded by oligarchs, who are rich enough now to be oligarchs themselves, are speaking and having a rally against oligarchy.
Right.
You can't be that fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You that doesn't register to the. Hey guys, maybe we should call it Fight the Oligarchy because our campaigns got funded by the oligarchy.
Because we are the oligarchy.
And then of course Bernie Sanders, like when someone called him out in a Senate hearing about how much money he took in from the healthcare industry, which he's been railing against for years, he goes, "I never took a single donation over the $10." Okay, Bernie, you didn't realize that $1.3 million came in from the healthcare industry from ordinary workers? Yeah, I'm afraid these corporations are doing a little backdoor business where they give the employees some money and then the employees make the contribution.
Yeah.
And it adds up to $1.3 million in your pocket.
Yeah.
You dumb fuck. Like, and then, like, the weird thing is, like, he sits there and he waves his finger, his big finger, he waves it like the old grumpy man. Hey, I never took $1 million from anybody. Yeah, you did, you dumb fucker. It's out there. People can put two and two together.
Yeah. People aren't stupid.
I mean, they are.
There are plenty of stupid people, but
there's enough people out there that are pointed out.
They're paying attention to this shit to say, hey, wait a minute. It's because I like 2016 Bernie Sanders.
He's gone.
And they got him locked. By
2017,
and I've said this before on the show. I had hopes for AOC, not because I agree with her on pretty much anything, but because she was not establishment. She overthrew establishment. She won the seat from establishment, and then what? She gets right in line with them.
There was a Nate Silver who does what is it? What poll? 518 something poll. What I forgot. Whatever Nate Silver poll does. He basically said AOC is the front runner to be the Democratic nominee. She's gonna get steamrolled.
Yeah,
but the Democrats, and we're not gonna go into politics, but the Democrats need someone to just be fucking real.
Yeah,
and the only one right now that is John Fetterman. Mm-hmm. Now you put that guy in front of a microphone, he can't fucking speak.
Yeah.
But when you see his tweets, like when he has time to actually think it out and put it out there, or his aide does, or someone is putting his actual thoughts into a coherent sentence.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yep.
He is a middle of the road Democrat.
Yeah.
He's the one that went down and talked to Trump, and everyone's like, "Oh, you went and talked to Trump," or he was the one that was for Israel. "Oh, you're for Israel." But he resonates with ordinary people. He's gonna, if he runs for re-election, he will win.
Yeah.
Because that's what resonates in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Not the fucking wackadoos.
Right.
Who appeal to the base. Like, well, look, the Fight the Oligarchy rallies are getting 16 to 20,000 people. Okay. But it's the same fucking people.
Yeah.
Like there's this thing with GPS and cell phone records. People can tell that the cell phone GPS data is traveling from city to fucking city. Mm-hmm. It's the same people.
Yeah.
Sprinkled in with some locals, but mostly the same people. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the politicians know. I don't know if Bernie and AOC know that they're being duped by whoever it is that's organizing this shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, imagine if you were told, and like all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, this was all an illusion? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like a lot of people are kind of living in these illusions right now. Like Katy Perry's got her first.
Well,
And she's going to be ridiculed for it for the rest of her life.
I think it all just comes from how detached they are and how they're just in this echo chamber.
Yeah.
So they're just surrounded by people who think and act just like they do. I've said before about DC, like all the DC people, they all go to the same school for undergrad or the same types of schools. They're all in the same fraternities and clubs and societies. Then they all go to do the same fellowship or, they'll go and they'll get the same masters in public policy from somewhere, wherever they do. They go to the same bars. They all fuck the same girls. They do the same. So then it just becomes this. That's their worldview. They don't know anyone from outside of that sphere, and their parents were the same way, and their grandparents were the same way, and their great grandparents, all their friends are the same way. Their aunts and uncles are all the same way. So to them, this is to be celebrated. When some two schlubs like us are like, and scads of other people are like, what the fuck? Like,
well, and then there's the hidden side of some of this stuff. So, like, I was reading about California politics because, Gavin Newsom started his podcast, of course, and he's trying to come around as a centrist, and which he's not. But he admitted, like, the whole trans woman and girl sports thing was probably not the right maneuver for the Democratic Party and whatnot. Like, said it out loud, even though he signed a law saying the opposite, right?
Yeah. Has he worked to repeal that law?
No, of course not. But, like, I was just...
Pay attention to what I say, not what I do.
Well, I came across something, and apparently California politics is basically the Newsom family, the Pelosi family, and the Brown family. Jerry Brown was the old governor. And Pelosi's maiden name was D'Alessandro.
She's in Baltimore.
But the D'Alessandros were West early.
Okay.
And they were heavily influenced they heavily influenced California politics. And then, of course, there were marriages within each of the families. And they've been at different places of California politics. But it's like, you see the deep-rooted connection to some of these families in politics. I mean, for example, like, even like a Mitt Romney. Mm-hmm. So Mitt Romney's dad was governor of Michigan.
Right.
Mitt just happened to be the governor of Massachusetts and now a senator from Utah. Mm-hmm. Like, that, I get it could happen. But when did politics become family business?
Yeah.
It's like, and it's not the first one. I mean, look at Andrew Cuomo. Was Mario Cuomo's kid. Mm-hmm. Both of which were governor of New York.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Cuomo looking to become mayor of New York City.
Mm-hmm. Well, here in Maryland, Paul Sarbanes, John Sarbanes, like, they get established and, like, the kid inherits the family business.
Yeah.
Which, it isn't a business. They produce nothing.
I mean, it's a business as far as a machine goes, though.
Yeah.
Because you get the political machine behind the kid. And when they say trying to overcome money in politics is tough, like, for example, when you said AOC beat that incumbent, that was not easy.
No. Because he had been there for a while.
Yeah.
It's the House. It's like 16 terms or something. So
yeah,
32 years that dude had been in there.
When I would say that in order for that to happen, someone very powerful must have backed her.
Yeah.
Like, he pissed off the wrong person. Mm-hmm. And that person had enough money to put up a no-name individual and win an election. Mm-hmm. Like, I would love to see the finances of her first campaign.
Yeah.
Just to see who was behind it. Like, was it a Soros type of person, or was it a local from New York who put up that money?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't just happen. The biggest power anyone has in politics is being an incumbent.
Yeah.
I think the turnover rate was abnormally low. Mm-hmm. I think it was like 70% of incumbents win.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They seem to get tossed more if they get primaried.
Probably, yeah.
they piss off the party, and the party primaries them. So
yeah, but I really hope we're just not going down this road of celebrities or whomever. Like they've got all their accolades, right? They got all the accolades. Now they're bored. And they feel like they need another feather in their cap and they need to be first. So they're going to make up some bullshit to be first at. And they're going to be pissed off when we're not super excited.
When no one's impressed by it.
Right. But they're going to be mad at us. Like Gayle King's pissed off at the world for not being impressed with her being the first.
And I think had this happened, say, 3-4 years ago, everyone who's saying, yeah, you didn't do shit, you're sexist, you're racist. The refreshing part is that none of that seems to be, I mean, there's a little bit of it, but when when our liberal, lefty, feminist neighbor is taking the same position that we are on this, to me, that's nice that, like, okay, we can overcome some of this stuff and recognize bullshit for bullshit, regardless of what side you're on, and say, like, no, that's a pile of shit. You didn't do anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's nice, like, we've talked about this before. There are some people that are living 4 years ago right now. Mm-hmm. Like they don't have, like for whatever reason, they either didn't believe or they didn't have the information that other people had 4 years ago. It's kind of like when all the conspiracy theories became true.
Yeah.
Well, 4 years ago, you were labeled a conspiracy theorist. And now all of a sudden, they're now getting that information that you had because their sources are finally now saying the same thing. It's almost like they're literally living 4 years behind.
Yeah, it's like welcome to the present.
Right. Like that baffles my mind though. Like for people just to kind of be going through life and then all of a sudden something like, let's say it was like something they were just really, really just ardent about 4 years ago. That was a conspiracy. That's not true.
Yeah.
That virus didn't come out of a lab in Wuhan. Like there were people like that.
Oh yeah,
there were people that got taken off. You could post on YouTube.
You were considered a xenophobe or racist or bigot.
Right.
Dave Smith has a great bit about it where he says, like, 4 years ago, if you said the lab leak theory, you were considered a racist or a bigot. But if you said these motherfuckers were eating a pangolin, you were like, what? Like,
but now, like imagine they were listening to like Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert.
Oh, but the thing is, those guys are still doing it.
Right.
They're still towing the line, and I can't. It was really creepy during COVID when Colbert had the vaccine dancers, and they're all dressed up like hypodermic needles. I'm like, this is worse than any sort of like, Soviet bloc propaganda. Like, this is ridiculous. And the crowd's there just clapping like dumb seals. I'm like, what? Doesn't anyone see through this? Like, I'm not that smart. I'm could probably be considered in most circles a dumbass. But like, I saw it.
I went to an American History Museum this past week. That's where we went on vacation. And one of the exhibits was about propaganda from the Revolutionary War. That's where I said I went, right? Or I say Civil War.
You said History Museum.
History Museum. Okay. That's right. But it was mostly about the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
And they showed two photos of the same incident. And it was of someone being tarred and feathered. And in one of the pictures that was shown in England, the people, the revolutionaries doing the tar and feathering of the other person, the revolutionaries they looked mean, they looked angry, and the person being tarred and feathered looked scared. Mm-hmm. And the version shown in America by John Hancock, or no, Samuel Adams, whichever one had the printing press, it showed the face of the person being tarred and feathered was like a really mean looking face, like he looked like he deserved it.
Yeah.
And then
Fuck that guy.
the two revolutionaries had nice smiles and demeanor in them. And so propaganda goes back to then, to the beginning of the printing press, for crying out loud. And for people not to realize that it could be happening now with all of the advances in technology and ways to get information to people, it's surprising to me. It's like, okay, this has been something that's been going on for ages. I mean, even like during the Iraq War when they dropped leaflets, you know, it still goes on today. Like they still drop leaflets during war.
Oh, yeah.
They did during World War II. I mean, but it's basically a way to get information to the people that they're probably not getting. And don't get me wrong, that's probably propaganda as well. So it's like, okay, how do you know what's propaganda and what's not? And the thing is unless you see the same story in 3 different sources or 4 different sources from different ends of the political spectrum, you probably don't know the whole story.
Yeah. Well, it's really, you know, when you see those mashups where they have like everyone saying the same thing, like they got the same memo. All the talking heads, you know, whether it's safe and effective or Russia collusion or anything, they're all saying it in the same way, and they just show it as like, oh, and they put them all together and say it with the same cadence, and I was like, wow, this is all these different people are saying the same thing, like they're getting it from some central place.
Right.
Someone's pulling the strings here.
I would love to know. I'm surprised no one's found out who that is. Like, where is that coming from? It all goes back to the one article from Time Magazine going back to 2020 when Joe Biden won the election. And I wish I could bring it up, but it was an article that essentially was quoting Democrat operatives saying that they had to fortify the election. That's the term they used.
Fortify.
Not influenced, not adjusted. They fortified the election from a cabal of groups of people. And how they, and during these conversations with these groups of people, they were able to stop the BLM protesting in riots. Because they had asked them, they said, hey, this is not polling well. This doesn't look well. Can you stop it? And because they were part of the group stopped it.
And I'm sure there's a considerable check written.
I'm sure. Yeah. I don't doubt that. But, like, they outright admitted it in the New York Times. Or no, Time Magazine. Sorry. It was in Time Magazine. And if I can find the article, I'll link it. But to me, it's like they're telling you what they're doing right out in the open. Like, they're not even hiding it. And the worst part is they think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Is to influence elections.
Yep.
It's like, oh shit. Like, you said the quiet part out loud. And nobody seemed to give a shit. So, there's that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I would classify this as propaganda, though. I don't know what it is. It's fuckery, for sure. But, like, I don't understand who was going to benefit from this. Other than Jeff Bezos.
I think what it is bullshit. And what's so nice is that people from across, it seems like regular, everyday people are kind of like, this is bullshit. Like, this is, you know, from one side of the spectrum to the other are all kind of like, that's bullshit. And that's the nice part is, and I'm not going to say we're finally to a point where people can look at things objectively, but it is refreshing to finally see people from opposite sides or different perspectives come be like, that's bullshit. So that to me is a benefit of it, and it's funny as fuck.
So I think and I don't want to give him credit because I still think he's a smarmy asshole. I think when Bill Maher started to come around on a lot of these things.
You know, he went to the White House to have dinner with Trump.
He did. And he said it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But as he's come around, and I think his podcast has actually brought him around more than his show. since he started the podcast, the show has gotten. He started calling out more of the left bullshit. Now he used to call it left bullshit a lot, but he would also do it with. He would say the left's bullshit. It's like, but the right's no better.
Yeah.
Right. But now it's the left is fucking batshit crazy, and there's no and.
Yeah.
You know. And a lot of the times with his podcast, he's not talking with people on the left.
Yeah, he has.
And when he does, he like when John Cryer was on the show, he called him out a lot. Mm-hmm. Now John Cryer was defiant. He acted like a fucking petulant bitch, but Maher was there to call him out, and he calls out Kid Rock and stuff like that. And the funny part was he was like, Kid Rock's the one that convinced me to go have dinner with Trump. He's like, you're going to come with me. Mm-hmm. It's weird. It's like it's almost like you just need someone to invite you over.
Yeah.
To see the other side, rather than deriding someone. And we've talked about this. It's like what's the biggest way to get someone to join a gang? You welcome them.
Yeah.
You find someone who's lonely, and you welcome them.
Yep.
And it's almost
you don't
like
sit there and call him an asshole and a pussy,
right? And it's almost like Kid Rock saw an opportunity, and he just said, like he wasn't a dick. Like he would either kindly disagree, he'd laugh, he'd joke, he was smoking, he was drinking with him, and he said, "Man, you got to come with me to go. You got to come with me to go have dinner with Trump." It was just like a flippant comment.
Yeah,
like it was very off the cuff, and he was like, "You know what? I'll take you up on that." And then it happened.
Yeah,
it was just an invite.
It was fun. So he took a list of all the things that Donald Trump had said about him and showed it to him, and Trump signed it.
Yeah.
Like,
and he said it was funny.
Yeah.
He said it was funny. I mean, like, everyone who meets the guy has a hard time hating him.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think he's a brash individual, but I'm not going to say if I met him, I wouldn't like him.
So I'm not even going to call Trump a politician because he kind of, I mean, he is by the nature of his profession right now, obviously, but a lot of those politicians, when you do meet them, you're like, that dude or that lady, she's pretty cool. If they weren't, if they didn't have some sort of charisma, they'd be really bad at their job. Like they wouldn't get elected. So they have to have some of that charisma to be able to interact with people one-on-one and like make you think that they care about you for that split second that you're meeting them. I think it's kind of a requirement. Trump's a little bit different because he's not a traditional politician. Nothing he does is polished. But I've heard the same thing when people meet him. They're like, yeah, he's actually kind of funny. And like, dude doesn't drink, he's, so I'm like, oh.
Well, that was one thing Maher said. He said, yes, he does joke that much. Like, yes, that's his sense of humor.
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of people get on him, like, he's like, when he says a joke, they take him as serious.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's actually joking. That's his sense of humor.
Yeah.
You might not like his sense of humor, but that's his sense of humor. I met one major politician in my time. And I did not come away with the same takeaway you did. Mm-hmm. And it was a former governor of Maryland.
Okay.
Also was a former mayor of Baltimore, but I won't say his name.
Well, there's been two in my recent memory. One of them's dead, so I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about.
About our age or a little bit older.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking douchebag.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. It was that bad. Like, the way I heard him, like, I wasn't meeting him. I was in an elevator with him, and he was talking to one of his aides. Mm-hmm. So it was probably the realest he'd ever been.
Yeah.
Or that I would ever hear him as. Like, I'm sure if I were to talk to him, he would have been all smiles and whatnot.
Oh, sure.
But I heard him talking to his handlers or whoever he was with, because he was there. He was where I was for an event, and I was working at the place he was at. Mm-hmm. And just the way he talked about the people he had just met and, like, some of his political opponents. Like, wow, you are a smarmy dick.
Yeah. But sometimes if you think about, like, you get on an elevator with, a friend or a coworker and you're leaving a meeting or whatever, and the door closes, you're like, man, fuck that dude. That guy's such a douchebag, like, whatever. Like,
but it broke my perception of politicians. Like, I always thought, like, they say one thing to the camera, but they're all buddy-buddy behind This dude did not like his political opponent.
Yeah.
Like it was personal or whatever. Like, but it was just wow. You're that smarmy asshole.
Yeah. You know so from The Wire, Jimmy Carcetti, the mayor of Baltimore, was based on him.
Was it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so let us know what you think of Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez being the first all-female crew in space
Since 1963.
since 1963. When a lone female did it.
Right.
I guess she's not a crew if she's just one.
What is a crew of one?
It is a crew of one.
So like an F-16.
You can be an army of one, can't you?
F-16A is flown by a crew of one. So
Let us know what you think. I want to thank Adam Chubbuck with Team Alpha Charlie at Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Maryland. TACMD.com. That's techmd.com. Please head on over there and let Adam know that we sent you. We will talk to you next week.